Welcome to the Rochester, New Hampshire History Podcast, a monthly show that will shine a light on a piece of history that has been all but forgotten.
This episode, we will visit and tour the Gonic Village Cemetery. Before we visit the cemetery, though, we're going to make a stop at St. Leo Church on Pickering Road. Located in the churchyard is a boulder with a list of names and a date of 1927. The origins of this boulder can be found in the May 27, 1927 Rochester Courier. The newspaper states that it contains the names of the Gonic men who served in World War I. This is a nice, well-maintained monument for our Gonic World War I soldiers and sailors.
The Gonic Village Cemetery is a short walk from the church. It is located across the street from the Gonic Fire Station. Here is the entrance to this medium-sized cemetery. There is a strong metal fence surrounding the entire cemetery. It is an old site with the first burials occurring in 1817. There are wide lanes mowed on each side so one can walk the length of it. The grass and plants among the monuments are a little high, which obscures some of the stones. In addition, there are large trees throughout the cemetery which add to the terrain, thanks to their rich colors and longevity. As with most cemeteries, impressive monuments were purchased by families who could afford them. Walking around the cemetery, one could find several Civil War soldiers buried here.
The most famous person to be buried here is Nicholas Varney Whitehouse, and he passed away in 1878. His contribution to Gonic was the Gonic Mills. In the early 1830s, Nicholas purchased an old sawmill and the water privileges on the Cocheco River in Gonic. In addition to sawing wood, he ran a grist mill and made bricks. Around 1838, he began making wool in his Gonic mill. This evolved into the Gonic Manufacturing Company. The company became the center of Gonic, and it was a source of steady employment for over 100 years. In September 1971, the company closed, leaving 250 people out of work, as the Gonic mill could not compete with the flood of cheaper, imported textile products. Today, the four-story structure is still standing, though it is not a textile plant anymore. The brick building is used for a number of businesses and offices. Aside from the history, there are beautiful monuments and headstones that celebrate generations of men and women who made Rochester their home.
If you ever need to stretch your legs, then visit the Gonic Village Cemetery. You will get fresh air, discover local history, and view beautiful artwork.
This ends the podcast. If you have any questions or comments, please email bobgriffinpodcast@gmail.com and come back next month for another episode of Rochester, New Hampshire History.